Saturday night means one thing. Stop what you're doing. Get ready. It's SEC football. Tonight, Dak Prescott of Mississippi State thunder into College Station, full of confidence that they can rise to the top of the SEC West. Texas A&M's explosive offense is making its usual headlines, but the Aggies defense has serious star power of its own this year. It's Saturday night, Mississippi State, Texas A&M on SEC Prime Time.
Oh, yeah. You know what day it is.
You are looking live at Kyle Field in College Station, Texas, home of the famous 12th man. The unbeaten Aggies of Texas A&M host once beaten Mississippi State in a game that will shape the future of the SEC West. Pull up a chair, folks. We got a dandy on a beautiful Saturday night deep in the heart of Texas. Welcome, everybody. Along with Jesse Palmer, I'm Brent Musburger. We'll hear soon from Maria Taylor. You know, when the preseason rankings came out, these two teams were 6 and 7. This is a no-respect game.
Yeah, it's just crazy to think about that, and really shows you, I think, what people thought of and think how loaded the SEC West Division is. All Texas A&M did was return 16 starters. Kyle Allen is a second-year starting quarterback. They brought in John Chavis as a defensive coordinator, and they might have the country's defensive player of the year in Myles Garrett. Meanwhile, Mississippi State won 10 games a year ago. They're the #1 ranked team in the country for 5 straight weeks, and Dak Prescott finished 8th in the Heisman race. So their resumes are good. Now, the SEC West, there's been a lot of shakeup early this year. A lot of people thought Auburn would win the conference. They've struggled. Arkansas struggled. Texas A&M, no one gave them a shot against Arizona State. They've handled their business. And Mississippi State is a missed field goal away against LSU for maybe still being undefeated. That's why tonight's a big game, Brent, because the winner can continue to defy the odds and expectations.
Jesse, it was a terrific game in Starkville last year. They put up 79 points. Dak Prescott accounted for 5 total touchdowns, passing and running. And then his linebacker, Richie Brown, he had 3 interceptions. And Mississippi State beat Texas A&M 48-31. Down in that tunnel now, the Aggies are starting to pour out on the field. Great setting, Jesse. And what a matchup. Myles Garrett, the defensive end of Texas A&M. And Dak Prescott, tremendous quarterback.
Great matchup of 2 marquee players. You start with Dak Prescott, has NFL talent. He can throw the football 70 yards. He can run the ball between the tackles. He can make you miss. And he's got that moxie, that it factor. Wants the ball in his hands with the game on the line. The guy on the right, Myles Garrett, is the best pure pass rusher in all of college football. If you were to draw up what a defensive end should look like, it'd be him. At 6'5", 260 pounds. Quick first step. He's got bend and athleticism and agility, impacts the game. What a matchup between 2 of the best players in the country at their respective positions.
And Maria's got more on Dak.
You know, Brent, these are the games that Dak Prescott returned for his senior season for. He says he remembers his last visit to College Station vividly. It was the game after he lost his mother to cancer, but he said it was heartbreaking walking away without a win. So he returns with an opportunity to avenge that loss, and he says the difference between Dak Prescott now as a senior than in past years is the fact that the game has slowed completely down, and he feels comfortable in every single situation, which is something that could really come in handy tonight against this hostile environment of Texas A&M.
All right, Maria. Here you see Dan Mullen. He has a great relationship with his senior quarterback. Really counts on him for leadership as much as playing. On the other side, Kevin Sumlin in his 4th year here at Texas A&M. And he, too, has done just an outstanding job. The depth of the coaches in the SEC, when you sit down and make a list of all of them, it's amazing. And this, of course, here in College Station, Jesse, this is one of my favorite environments in all of college football. And the remodeling that they are completing here has given Kevin Sumlin one of the grandest stages in all of college football.
I think in all of football, period, Brent. If you take a look at Kevin Sumlin right there in his 4th season as Texas A&M head coach, I think they poured something like $480 million into Kyle Field and their football offices. And let me tell you, folks, if you ever get a chance to come here and get a look at this, you'll see what we're talking about. This is truly one of the great football atmospheres, not just college, but in the entire world, pro included.
Sumlin and the Aggies will receive the opening kickoff, and they will go on offense. And we'll get to take a look at one of the most spectacular freshmen in the country. He's the deep man for the Aggies, standing back by his own goal line. Number 3, Christian Kirk, leads the SEC in total yards. And let's see what the strategy will be on the part of Mississippi State here, with Devin Bell kicking off. The youngster from Arizona. Your first look at it. There's a hole. Penalty flag comes flying as Kirk returns the opening kickoff to the 25-yard line.
Holding on the receiving team. 10-yard penalty. First down. Correction, half the distance.
So here is
first down.
The young man, Kyle Allen. And he's done a fabulous job, Jesse. He's in his second year.
Yeah, he started the last 5 games last year of his true freshman season, was the MVP of their bowl game against West Virginia. His confidence has just carried over into this year. He's got really good arm talent, and he's a good runner, too. You're seeing him run more often this year. With respect to the passing, he already leads the SEC with 11 touchdown passes this year.
Start from their own 9 as a result of a penalty. Trey Carson, the senior from Texarkana, Texas. Alongside, Allen rolls, fires complete. Christian Kirk is also becoming one of his favorite targets, as you see the Aggie starters. And we mentioned Trey Carson. He has carried the load. Number 5, you're looking right behind him. And they will try to establish a run game with Trey carrying the way. A little bit short-handed at running back. But Carson picks up the first down on the second offensive play of the game. Coleman with the stop. And for Mississippi State, of course, all of you, especially over Mississippi way in Starkville, you remember Richie Brown. 3 interceptions, and immediately they go to the Wildcat. And Jesse, we expected to see Christian Kirk at the Cat, and here he is.
Yeah, you're going to see him lined up all over the field. He is a special talent. They want to get him as many touches as possible.
Running behind the right side. He picked his daylight pretty well.
Christian Kirk, only a true freshman, Brent, but he plays at a different speed than everybody else. He's unbelievable with the football in his hands, and he's already become their go-to receiver. And this guy's only a true freshman.
Allen back in as the quarterback. Takes the direct snap. Play fake with Carson. Downfield, wide open. Ricky Seals-Jones, and Kevin Sumlin telling us we have got to get him more involved in the offense. He's one of our big targets, and 9 makes his presence felt with a 25-yard gain. He was wide open.
And he's 6'5", Brent. He's a big target down that sideline. I thought on that throw, Kyle Allen did a nice job getting his feet set on the move to deliver an accurate ball.
4 wide, quick fire to the outside. Flash again to number 3, and that's Kirk.
Mississippi State's defense has to know where number 3 is lined up every play. First couple of non-conference games, Texas A&M just lined him up in the slot. But ever since Arkansas last week, and now that they're in conference play, Texas A&M has unleashed the true freshman, and they're lining him up all over the field.
Josh Reynolds is outside of him. Seals-Jones now goes to the right side. Kyle Allen comes back to the left side. Diving attempt by Ratley. So number 4 comes back and makes the catch at the 25-yard line.
I wasn't sure if Ratley stepped out of bounds on this before he came back in to make the play. It was a nice kind of back shoulder throw by Kyle Allen, putting it where only his guy could make the catch. Really good coverage on the play by Will Redmond.
First down and 10. And instant replay upstairs is going to take a look at exactly
The ruling on the field was
what
a
you
catch.
said.
The ruling on the field, it's under previous review.
Matt Leffler is our referee who made that announcement, and up just down from us, Gerald Hodges is our replay official as they're taking a look at it now, and then they will call downstairs.
Let's take a look at Ratley's feet here. Look at that left foot. You see how it steps? It's out of bounds right there, and it didn't look like he was pushed out of bounds. He can't be the first to touch the football. Back in play if that's the case. It certainly looked like he caught it. Looks like he got both of those hands underneath the ball, but I think one thing we're going to look at as well is whether or not he was out of bounds and coming back in, being the first to touch it. See that referee's hat go down on the sidelines there, right here, which kind of indicates.
They say he was pushed out, Jesse.
Okay.
We just got word
All right.
from the replay.
Well, you're
booth.
allowed to be pushed out of bounds and come back in and be the first to catch it. And I don't know, to me right there, if I'm looking at that angle, there's no obvious shove.
It is confirmed. It's a catch. First down.
So Redmond was the defensive back, and they ruled that with his body, he was muscling him out of bounds on the sideline. So the first break of our game favors the Aggies. And as a result, they will have that first down at the 25-yard line. This is the opening drive of the game if you just joined us. Option look, and Allen keeps it all the way into the red zone before Jackson brings him down.
You're seeing a lot more of this year from Texas A&M in the running game. It's not just running backs getting carries, but Kyle Allen, he's got some wheels, and they use him in zone reads, and they use him in speed option to get yards.
Carson busts to the right, drives it across the 5-yard line. Will they go back to Carson? We shall see.
Nice read by Kyle Allen here. He's watching Brown come on the outside on a delayed blitz. It's a good decision to give. There's a big 235-pound running back getting north. This is a place where Mississippi State has been so good all year, Brent, in the red zone. 4 trips for Auburn last week, no touchdowns.
Carson will try it, and he stops short. It'll be second down and goal. Let's see if they feed the big fella again.
A big reason why I think Mississippi State is so tough is they've got big, long bodies in the middle of that defense. They're really hard to run at in between the tackles.
James White replaces Carson. He's a sophomore from Pearland. He's been nicked up, so he gets the okay prior to the game. And you're looking at number 20 now with Allen in the pistol formation, and here he comes, trying to reach the goal line. He could not.
They're trying to pull Caden Smith, 47, who's a big blocking tight end. And that's what I'm talking about. There's just a lot of weight in the middle of that Mississippi State defensive line. They're hard to get pushed at right in the middle. So now you got a situation where, Kyle Allen's feet can be a weapon here. He's a good runner. If they decide to go zone read or move the pocket, he's athletic enough to do it himself.
Third down and goal. White is the running back. Here he is. Allen dives, and he's stopped. Terrific defense by Mississippi State. Beniquez Brown, the first to hit him.
They try to run this to the right side, Brent. No one's out here blocking Beniquez Brown or Richie Brown. And that was just an easy tackle to make.
They're going on fourth down. White stays in as a running back. Allen firing, touchdown, Ricky Seals-Jones. the first to score. Kyle Allen did a terrific job of keeping this play alive.
Talking about his athleticism, he gets a lot of credit for his arm talent, but I'm telling you, his legs, his running ability is so underrated. He's not Johnny Manziel by any stretch, but he has the ability to hurt defenses, running it conventionally and scrambling and keeping plays alive.
Taylor Bertolet on for the extra point. Connor McQueen spun it beautifully, and Bertolet made it 7-0.
Wes Brown here on the delayed blitz, can't get home. Nice job by Allen keeping his vision downfield as he gets to the sideline. Throws a strike to Ricky Seals-Jones.
So the Aggies strike first on Mississippi State. The famous yell practice last night. Fire up the 12th man. And the 12th man will be on this special team. Sam Miller will be number 12 coming down representing the student body. He breaks a record tonight for the number of games. And there is the young man. Last year he earned a scholarship. This one of the famous numbers in College Station. From the goal line, it's Holloway. Good coverage by the Aggies. And
guess who made the tackle?
And was that my man down there, Miller?
Sam Miller, yeah.
All right, the 12th man.
On cue.
All right.
Good way to start the day when you break a record.
They're going to have a hard time replacing that young man, you know, because you get a youngster who's not on scholarship, but he's got to run a little bit.
Yeah,
like that.
and
Look at him.
He kind of ping-ponged off a couple people. Watch him finish the tackle. I mean, just put that on the reel.
Good going, Sam. From San Antonio, Shumpert is the running back alongside Dak Prescott. Ashton Shumpert. First pitch is completed to Fred Ross. And Dak Prescott, the senior from Louisiana, probably the best senior quarterback in the SEC.
Yeah, he's one of the best dual threat quarterbacks in the country as well, Brent. Last year was the only guy in the FBS to throw for over 3,000 yards and run for over 900.
They use those quick screens to the outside basically as a running play, but this is what they really want to do. They want a running attack, and Shumpert comes through the middle for a first down. And you know, the Aggies are looking for a better run defense. John Chavis is working on that. Washington made the stop, but Mississippi State picks up the first down. Downs, Prescott tripped up at the 22-yard line as he was surveying the scene.
And I think Myles Garrett's going to get credit for this sack, even though he actually never touched Dak Prescott. He just pushes Rufus Warren, the left tackle, right back into Dak Prescott. This is a guy we're going to talk about all game long. A battle of two number 15s. Prescott versus Garrett.
Draw play all the way. And this is what Dak has not done much of this year. Big run for a first down. Out close to midfield. Dak Prescott's longest run of this season before Brandon Williams can bring him down, but a 26-yard run.
It opens up because of the block by Shumpert right here, his tailback. It's a block right there. That frees Prescott into the second level. And this is why he's so dangerous as a dual threat quarterback. He gets into your second level. He can make you miss.
Holloway, the running back alongside. Play action him. And Prescott fires complete to Fred Ross. What a good-looking quarterback he is.
Yeah,
he's just so calm, picks up open targets, that run. He was in control of himself.
You know, he's doing a better job this year, Brent, in progressions. This year, he's getting to third and fourth receivers, when last year it was first guy not open, second guy not open, then he's running. And that's what you expect from a guy in his fifth year in Dan Mullen's offense.
Prescott keeps it himself again before Watts, Armani Watts.
It's so critical, Brent. You mentioned it. They have to be able to run the ball. When I think back to losses last year against Alabama and Ole Miss and this year against LSU, they were one-dimensional, couldn't run the football, and they've got to have balance tonight against Texas A&M.
Boy, he's carrying the load running right now as he comes across the 35-yard line, and Jarrett Johnson makes a stop for Texas A&M.
You see, last year he carried the football almost 16 times a game. This year it's only been 7. I think a big reason why they feel like the strength of their offense is at wide receiver, and they want Dak Prescott in his 5th year throwing the football. That's how they feel their best chances of generating points. But early in this game, it's been number 15 on the ground.
Needs 4 yards for a first down. Incomplete, and there's a penalty flag, however.
Donovan Wilson in the slot, one-on-one against a much bigger 6'5" De'Runnya Wilson. I think you might call him.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 6. That's a spot foul with an automatic first down.
Well, it's tough to get physical against a guy that's 6'5", 215 pounds.
But with the injury to Alaka, remember, Jesse, they're forced to use Wilson a lot more in the nickel.
They sure are. And he's a guy that can cover, but you see, just grabbing Jersey, just kind of head to, kind of both of those arms. He's got him in a headlock right off the line. Penalty called, keeps this drive alive for Mississippi State.
From the 27. He had an open target.
Sure did.
He would have had a touchdown, but he was under, to give him, be fair with him, he was under enormous pressure.
And Gabe Miles ran right by Donovan Wilson in the slot. You're going to see right up here on the left of your screen, there's a bit of a coverage bust. The safety, looks like Armani Watts, he came down in the box as if he was supporting the run. There was nobody deep. Texas A&M lucky that ball was overthrown.
Shumpert across the 25-yard line, and this will bring up 3rd down. Johnson making another stop for the Aggies.
Obvious passing situation. Texas A&M, in my opinion, has the best edge rush right now in the country. It's because of that guy right there, number 15, Myles Garrett. Mississippi State has to be able to help their left tackle, Rufus Warren, whether it's with tight ends or backs. Right now, it's an empty set. Nobody helping up here.
A run all the way and short of the first down. Stopped at the 20-yard line, and Cunningham. Waylon Cunningham from Chandler, Arizona, and John Chavis was very high on him.
We got a lot more depth this year, Brent, on the defensive line, both interior and exterior, and it's helped this defense. They're rotating 10 different guys in games now.
Weston Graves, he will attempt the field goal to put Mississippi State on the scoreboard. Bends it across, and good. 38-yard field goal for Graves. So it's 7-3.
Earlier in the game, here's a play action fake. He's rolling to his left, and just watch how quickly he pivots around. There's a good weight transfer, even though there's a defender in his face. Better throwing mechanics. He had a great offseason. He's stronger. Nobody denies his arm talent. When you have a good base underneath you and you can transfer the weight, Kyle Allen is just special when he's delivering these fouls.
He was standing there with his offensive coordinator, Jake Spavital, on the sideline, awaiting the next series of downs. Meanwhile, Kirk is back in the end zone. He'll take a knee, and it'll come out on the 25-yard line, with the Aggies having marched to the game's first touchdown with their opening drive. Meanwhile, for you Mississippi State fans back home, how about this one? Florida 13, Ole Miss nothing.
A game that people weren't sure if Will Greer, quarterback, was going to play. He was sick.
Playing very well.
Maybe he should be sick more often if they're going to play that well. The big test, there's already been a lot of shakeup, as we talked about in the SEC West. Alabama, with a statement win today on the road against Georgia, and Ole Miss struggling right now. This SEC West, it's loaded, but man, it's crazy, and it's still completely wide open.
Trey Carson back in as the running back. And he puts it back in the youngster's hands. Christian Kirk.
Big challenge for Mississippi State, tackling in the open field against an offense that likes to spread you out and give their playmakers the ball in space. Defensive coordinator Manny Diaz talks about tackling the catch. No yards after the catch. It's a tall order against these kind of athletes.
Christian Kirk just brought the veteran senior Josh Reynolds in behind him. They stack it on the right. Meanwhile, Allen goes to the left and throws in underneath to Reynolds. And that was interesting because Christian Kirk brought Reynolds down in the formation close to that side. You can see number 11 as he splits out. That was Kirk who positioned him on that play, and he's just a freshman. First down at midfield. Keeping it is Kyle Allen. Jesse, just as you said, he's dangerous on the move.
He's making good decisions off the edge here. They're not blocking the edge rusher. He's just basically watching this. If he crashes down or even freezes for a moment, Kyle Allen's keeping the football. And Mississippi State right now looks a little bit stunned. They were not expecting Texas A&M to do so much damage with a running quarterback.
Wildcat again with Kirk, and Allen, the quarterback, is off to the right. There is a trick play in the game plan tonight involving Allen. But this time, Kirk just keeps it right straight ahead. But keep an eye on number 10 when he goes way outside as he was that time, and now he'll come back and be the quarterback.
What you're noticing too, Brent, is the tempo at which Texas A&M runs at. Last year, they were running a play once every 22 seconds. It was the fastest tempo in the SEC, and Kyle Allen now in his second year, he's able to speed things up maybe even quicker.
Second down and 7. Quick flip to Kirk. He's across the 30-yard line.
Third and short, third in this area. If I'm Kyle Allen, I'd still be thinking about Christian Kirk. Again, he's become their go-to guy. Only as a true freshman, critical down and distances. Well, this area right here on the 30, inside the 30, this could be 4-down territory. If they don't get it here, you might see 2 running plays. Another Trey Carson back in the game.
Throwing on third down, complete. Ratley scores. Damian Ratley with Kyle Allen's second touchdown pass. 29 yards, and now, folks, listen to this stat. Allen is 9 of 9 and 2 touchdowns.
So you're saying he's having a pretty good day. Not bad at all.
Bertolet makes it 14-3. Alive in College Station. Kevin Sumlin and the Aggies showing you that high-powered offense, and it's starting to rock here in East Texas.
Looking back on this touchdown, Texas A&M got 2 freezes, one with a play fake to the running back. It holds a linebacker, the other on a bubble. It sucks a safety up, and that allows on the outside of the field wide receiver Damian Ratley to just run clear and unimpeded. It's a nice job by Kyle Allen getting the ball out of his hands quickly to his receiver so that he can make a move on the safety. Yards after the catch, such a big part of this passing attack for Texas A&M.
Brandon Holloway and Gabe Miles back deep for Mississippi State. Beautiful kickoff out of the end zone. It'll come out of the 25-yard line. So Texas A&M with touchdowns on its first 2 possessions. And they lead Mississippi State 14-3 with 3 minutes and 23 seconds left. So we'll see now if Dak Prescott can mount a touchdown drive for Mullen. Meanwhile, Jesse, the Florida Gators 19, Ole Miss nothing. 77-yard touchdown pass to Powell, a shocker.
Wow, it's the second time in 3 weeks that Ole Miss has had to walk into a hostile environment. They were able to handle the energy. Tuscaloosa 2 weeks ago, they're going to need Chad Kelly and that offense to wake up here. Tall order against what's a very good defense there in Gainesville.
Holloway and Shumpert are the running backs. Play action. Prescott fires to an open target at the 35. You're right at the first down marker there to Fred Ross, and he took a lick.
There's a good example of Dak Prescott getting through his progression quickly. He wants Shumpert in the flat. It's not there. Turns around right away and delivers a strike into a small window.
Keeping it again. Out of bounds at the first down marker. Back-to-back first downs for the Bulldogs. Evans was over on the sideline, but Prescott, the runner, is carrying the load here. He's run for 29 yards and passed for 27. Option look. Pitch now to Holloway. And Holloway at midfield. Myles Garrett with the stop for the Aggies. So here are your Mississippi State starters tonight. And of course, DeRunya Wilson. Jesse, you and I have talked about him. 6'5", what a target.
Yeah, and he's got a tremendous catch radius. One of those guys, if Dak Prescott sees one-on-one on the outside of the field, he'll give him a shot.
Shumpert, there he comes again on that play action. And he simply threw that one away, it looked like. He had a target there that was incomplete. Myles Garrett was again in on the play.
Well, nobody blocked him. You see Myles Garrett is right lined up here over the left tackle. And all of the action kind of flows away. And Myles Garrett, I think, was shocked himself. Wow, I'm one of the best in the country. You're not going to touch me. Dak Prescott had no choice. So watch now, you got two bodies over here lined up to Myles Garrett's side, expecting to give him help in pass pro.
Third down and another first down. He hit Fred Ross again, the youngster from Tyler, Texas.
Dak Prescott just looks like he's making quicker decisions this year and throwing the ball with more conviction and accuracy. Great job reading coverage, putting his foot in the ground, delivering the football right to the face mask of Fred Ross. There is no substitution for experience.
Looking down the middle. Almost a terrific grab at the 25-yard line, but Nick Harvey was there defensively, and number 8 did the job for the Aggies. And the receiver is down. Joe Morrow, I believe.
It's really good coverage by Nick Harvey on this. You're going to see ball was thrown a little bit high. Morrow had to kind of go climb the ladder, and just looked like Harvey kind of pinned his arms on their way down to the ground. Just sort of fell awkwardly.
It's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Bulldogs, who will be without Morrow for at least this play. And I think you're right, Jess. I think that is an arm injury. Arm or a shoulder. And it appears as though they're taking Morrow directly to the locker room. Second down and 10. Shumpert battles his way to about the 38-yard line. Now, certainly we've had these terrific looks overhead all night here from Kyle Field. That AT&T Skycam, that gives you a little bit of a different look, doesn't it, Jess?
Sure does. Gives you a look at a great scene here at Kyle Field.
Shumpert could not get the first down. This will bring up a 4th down. So John Chavis's defense stalled Mississippi State on an earlier drive, and they settled for a field goal. Dan Mullen this time is leaving his offense out on the field. It's 4th and 3. Open receiver, and they could not connect. Shumpert out of the backfield. Had he been able to catch that, he would have run for a first down easily.
Yeah, that's a throw that Dak Prescott has to make. He missed a similar throw to Shumpert on a 2-point play late in their loss against LSU down in the end zone. Just got to lay that one out in front, let him catch it, and if he does, he's turning up the sidelines. There was many more yards left out on the field.
And now Mullen's Mississippi State team goes back on defense. And he's hoping that Manny Diaz's defense can stop them. They haven't on the first 2 drives. And Allen keeping it again. And that's a strong first down. He can do a lot of things on this second down and short now.
You know what he needs to do, though, Brent? He needs to get down. A couple times now we've seen him on these runs, and he's in there banging around with linebackers and safeties. He is way too valuable. You got to know when the play is dead. Protect yourself as a quarterback.
They get off another play before the end of the quarter. Carson breaks free into daylight to the 35-yard line as the first quarter comes to an end. It was all Texas A&M. 2 touchdowns held Mississippi State to 1 field goal, and now they're marching again. It's an Aggie kind of night, at least so far. So Maria Taylor, Manny Diaz has to rally this defense for Mississippi State.
Yeah, and the knee-jerk reaction of the defense has been showing frustration after giving up 14 in the first quarter. But Deshae Townsend, the cornerbacks coach, also Tony Hughes, the safeties coach, talking to the secondary about eye discipline. That's been the stress down here on the sideline. And also trying to just calm the entire team down and saying, hey, that's just the first quarter. Now attack in the second.
So Allen has Carson as his running back, and Brandon Williams is out in a slot. They're going to work an end around. Brandon looking like he might even throw it. He's showing you that running ability. Remember, there's a penalty flag, but remember with Williams, he had been a running back at Oklahoma before he transferred, sat out a year, and this year they made him a defensive back.
Illegal block in the back on the offense, number 10. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, first down.
They get Kyle Allen for this, and it's a blatant penalty. Kind of a slow developing play with Brandon Williams in the game on that reverse.
That foul will be enforced from the previous spot. Replay, first down.
That's Kendrick Market on the ground, starting safety for Mississippi State. So go back and watch this again. This play, just keep your eye on the quarterback, Kyle Allen. After he hands this off to Kirk, he kind of just wheels out, and his job really is to kind of seal whatever defender is on the perimeter trying to get him inside. Well, he lost leverage and lost contain. He just got a shove. That's why the penalty's called. So injury is a little bit of an issue right now for Mississippi State. Joe Morrow went down at wide receiver. Now Kendrick Market. See here, good news, him getting assisted off the field.
Let's go to Darinoka and find out what's happening with those Gators.
Well, they are having a night, guys. It is an SEC right now, brought to you by State Farm, up 13-zip already on number 3. Ole Miss with the football, 3rd and 6. Will Greer across the middle to a streaking Brandon Powell, who does the rest. 77 yards later, it's Greer's 3rd touchdown pass. 19-zip, Florida, final minute first half.
Here, Texas A&M leads 14-3 over Mississippi State. First down. Allen, incomplete. Quick slant to Christian Kirk, the freshman that time.
That play looked like they may have had something. If that was just more accurate throw, catchable ball. You see all the different ways that offensive coordinator Jake Spavital right now trying to get the young true freshman involved. We've seen him in the Wildcat. We've seen him in the slot. Here he comes again in motion.
Carson. That brings up their down.
This is an area where Manny Diaz, the defensive coordinator, he likes to get exotic on 3rd down. He'll run different fronts. He brings blitzes, and oftentimes he can dial something up that he hasn't shown yet earlier in the year. Let's see right here if they can confuse Kyle Allen and get a guy free.
They go to the Wildcat look as they bring him in, and now they still have Allen. Allen takes the snap, but they run him out of the backfield, so they moved him back next to him to try to get him open as a receiver. No first down on the play, but that was a little bit of a different look.
Really good job by this defense, just playing big zone coverage, keeping the football in front, and they've got their eyes on Christian Kirk. You're going to see here, they got 2 defenders trying to cover him. They're able to make the stop and at least stop the bleeding. 14 points in the first quarter. Texas A&M going to try a long field goal. Taylor Bertolet, he's kicked 3 field goals in his career of over 50 yards. He's got a heck of a leg.
This is a 55-yarder. Long enough, and it's good. Taylor Bertolet, a senior from Reading, Pennsylvania. A career-long field goal, and it makes it 17-3 Texas A&M.
This thing was good. Maybe 60. I mean, that thing was a drill. Look at that. Impressive.
Big first half for Kevin Sumlin's Texas A&M Aggies. Well, an interesting update here on the SEC West. LSU struggling against Eastern Michigan. Only 17-14, and I know many of you are interested in Leonard Fournette. He has 60 yards and a touchdown so far. Tennessee leading Arkansas 17-14. That's midway through the second, and of course here the Aggies have jumped all over Mississippi State. Bertolet after that 55-yard field goal. And Holloway will take a knee, and it'll come out on the 25. Speaking of 55-yard field goals, celebrating its 11th year sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets, Allstate makes contributions to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kick. Since 2005, Allstate has donated millions in scholarship funds, and tonight Texas A&M thanks Allstate. Brandon Holloway, the running back. Dak Prescott and the Bulldogs need to finish a drive. Holloway going nowhere.
We're watching Myles Garrett make plays, and he has a chance to be the defensive player of the year. It's so hyped coming out of high school. The number 4 overall prospect. Everyone compared him to Jadeveon Clowney, and he delivered on that last year, setting an SEC record for freshmen in sacks. This is a guy that impacts the game like few others.
He was a right defensive end that time, and they got to the outside of him with Holloway.
And Brent, offensive coordinators just change their game plans when they have to play against him. He gets double teamed, triple teamed, they throw away from him. See right here, they're throwing a swing route. He's got the speed to adjust. Jadeveon and Clowney and Ndamukong Suh, the only two guys I've seen since I've been working at ESPN that impact the game the same way this young true sophomore does. He's special.
3rd and 6. Complete to Wilson. Wilson close to midfield with a first down, and that time young Garrett had his hands full.
And you see ways that Mississippi State are trying to help their left tackle, Rufus Warren. Work over here in the tight end. It's just a little chip block, just to help the left tackle against Myles Garrett before that tight end, Hutchinson, gets into his route. You got to be creative in helping out against number 15.
Deshaun Hall is the other defensive end. And that time running to daylight is Malik Deer. Deer, touchdown Mississippi State. Terrific run by number 22.
And what an answer by Mississippi State. It was all offense first quarter by Texas A&M. After forcing a long field goal, Dak Prescott and this offense take the field, and they march right down with an explosive play by true freshman wide receiver Malik Deer.
He's from Jackson, Mississippi. Went to Murrah High School. As Graves adds the extra point. So you can take a look at Malik Deer here. Breaks to daylight. He looks more like a running back than a wide receiver, doesn't he, folks? Malik Deer played wide receiver, quarterback, and running back at high school in Jackson, Mississippi. And he's a story, folks, because the success of Dan Mullen allows him to successfully recruit 4- and 5-star athletes like Deer. And he has given Mississippi State a huge lift here tonight. Christian Kirk standing back in his end zone. Bell to kick it off. On the ground, fielded by a short man who takes a knee at the 25. They kicked it away from Christian Kirk.
Let's go back and take a look at this. Oh, we got a flag on the field here. A little extracurricular activity. It's been chippy. Big battle in the SEC West.
Somebody has to survive in the West beside Alabama. Huge win for the Crimson Tide at Georgia earlier today. Ole Miss is struggling in the swamp. Arkansas with its hands full against Tennessee. LSU hasn't pulled away yet.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the receiving team, number 11. Half the distance, first down.
I don't think Kevin was happy about that. No, I don't think he was, Brent. There have been a couple big penalties now on his team here in these last two drives. Remember, it was the block in the back on Kyle Allen that forced them to lose a lot of yards. Looked as though they were driving for a touchdown. Now a big penalty here on special teams. Got to be more headsy. Got to be a lot more disciplined.
Allen with White as his running back.
What's the top of your screen here? You're looking for number 11. Josh Reynolds late.
Second down and 9. Now it'll be third down.
There's a better job tackling in space there by Cedric Giles out at cornerback. I don't think Mississippi State was doing a very good job in the first quarter tackling receivers, tackling running backs in the open field. That's a sure tackle. And now you set up the 3rd and long situation and an opportunity for pressure.
Rolling to the right and firing for the first down to Seals Jones.
Great use of tempo by Texas A&M, getting set quickly when Mississippi State wasn't ready for it. They wanted to bring a blitz from the boundary, and Spavital just had a better call. The pressure's coming from this side. They're rolling away from it. Mississippi State wasn't even set. And an accurate throw by Kyle Allen moves the sticks.
Deep down the sideline, and he wanted Josh Reynolds, who is bumped. I don't think the pass was catchable anyway.
One thing I'm seeing also is more pressure right now for Mississippi State. They've had enough of Kyle Allen sitting back and just trying to get after him with 4 defensive linemen. Manny Diaz now digging into his bag of blitzes, and it's becoming a bit of a blitzathon. He's bringing guys from the boundary. He's bringing linebackers. That time he brought the cornerback. Trying not to allow Kyle Allen to be too comfortable back there.
Christian Kirk is off to the quarterback's left on 2nd down and 10. Looking in that direction, comes back to the sideline. Now the safety valve is White. So that showed you how Kyle Allen is maturing as a quarterback. Look to the left, nothing doing. Look back to the right, nothing doing, and used his check down receiver.
I think the game for him, Brent, is just slowing down in his 2nd year. He reads coverages better. He gets through the progressions quicker. Football into the hands of a playmaker early, that usually spells good news.
And White battling, and he picked up the 1st down.
It's a good story getting James White back. He injured himself after the 2nd carry of the season against Arizona State. He provides a lot of depth. It was mostly Trey Carson for the last 3 games carrying the rock. But getting number 20 back in the lineup now gives Trey Carson a chance to keep fresh legs. It's good for this offense.
Keeping it is Kyle Allen to about the 38-yard line, and JT Gray makes the stop.
I think one thing in this offense, they're committing themselves to running the football more this year, and they brought in Dave Christensen from Utah as a run game coordinator. He's changed the offensive line stances. He's changed some of the splits. They're doing more with Kyle Allen in the running game. They've just been more of a balanced offense, I think, this year since that guy right there, Dave Christensen, has joined the staff.
Bubble screen read beautifully by Diaz's defense. Calhoun jumps the receiver. A terrific defensive play by Mississippi State.
Yeah, these cornerbacks on the perimeter of the field are starting to play a lot more physical. Just watch this. You got to beat a block from a tight end. He just beats it with speed. Tevez Calhoun there now sets up 3rd and long. Christian Kirk up top here in the slot. When you come with all this tempo, you get set ready, you get the defense to trying to clear what they're doing and try to get the best play called possible.
Flushed on the move, throws for the 1st down, hit Trey Carson out of the backfield.
It looked like here they were trying to get this throw underneath to Christian Kirk on a shallow crossing route. He's going to be coming from the left of your screen, and Kyle Allen just kind of gets flushed to his right. He feels the pressure. Kept his eyes downfield on the touchdown throw early to Ricky Seals-Jones, and does it again there in a huge 3rd down.
Fumble the snap. Pick it up and made the most of it.
Just feel from a momentum standpoint, Mississippi State just needs to get a stop. They were on their heels that entire first quarter, but now their offense just scored an explosive play. Defense back on the field. Get a stop here, get possession back, give Dak Prescott an opportunity to tie the game.
Sabian Holmes checks in as one of the wide receivers. He's off to Allen's left. Has time, incomplete. And that was Christian Kirk trying to curl back toward the sideline on that far side. Edward Pope checks in as a wide receiver. Ratley, who has one of the 2 touchdown catches, comes off to the sideline. And they leave Josh Reynolds alone at the bottom, number 11. 3rd down. Lobs it complete to Reynolds, who on a crossing pattern, and Reynolds picks up a huge 1st down, and there's a penalty flag. In fact, there are 2 of them.
They may get Ricky Seals-Jones for an illegal block when he was coming back. You know, this is close to potentially being targeting, I think, for Ricky Seals-Jones on a blindside block.
I think I just saw Leffler mention targeting.
Yeah, I mean, it's a violent hit. It just happened late. It's important to remember is when a defenseless player is being blindside blocked, he's deemed defenseless, and you're gonna have to take a look at this again, see if there was maybe a blow to the head or neck area.
Personal foul, targeting a defensive player, number 9. The previous play is under further review.
So instant replay will take a look at this and determine whether or not it is targeting.
So take a look out to your left. Number 9, he's downfield. He's on the left. Now he's going to be peeling back to get a block on number 20, Brandon Bryant. Now,
got him on the shoulder, I thought.
By rule, when a player's receiving a blindside block, he's deemed defenseless. So the question is now, was the forcible contact made to the head or neck area?
The crowd on the big replay board has seen the replay, and they do not agree with the call.
Now, the contact doesn't necessarily need to be made with the helmet of Ricky Seals-Jones. It could be a shoulder, it could be an elbow.
The ruling of targeting is confirmed. Number 9 is disqualified. That's a 15-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So now Ricky Seals-Jones is out for the rest of the game. And he's already had a big impact in this game early with already 5 catches, including a touchdown. That's a big loss for this Texas A&M offense. It's a big blow, and it's one of these things that can be difficult to call when it's real time, but I actually think that was the right call. I think it's a good call. Referees, college football, trying to curb the behavior of their players, and that's a tough loss. You see Ricky Seals-Jones, it hurts him to be out of this game, keeping the crowd fired up.
So the vote is 1-1 in the booth. 3rd down and 15 coming up for the Aggies.
You're not buying that, are you?
Nope.
All right.
James White. Allen read beautifully that time. Not able to break free. Mississippi State's defense has learned some things here early on. J.T. Gray making another stop. He's been very active, and it's been much harder going against Diaz's defense.
Yeah, Brent, I think Manny Diaz has just gotten more aggressive. That's been the biggest difference. They're starting to blitz from all over the place. That time, they brought the corner from in the boundary. They're starting to make plays in the backfield from Texas A&M, but that's the stop that Mississippi State needed defensively to try and regain some momentum in this football game. It's been a tale of 2 quarters so far.
High punt. And it will be spotted over there, but Mississippi State now on a roll. That big touchdown ignited them. The crowd still restless as one of their receivers was ejected. Well, let's take a look, Jesse, at our Mercedes-Benz drive summary.
It was a really good-looking drive offensively by Mississippi State the last time out on the field, and it started with Dak Prescott. He's being able to make plays here with his feet, with his arms, swinging it outside to Holloway on a swing pass, kind of got him in a rhythm, then doing a nice job getting through some progressions. Big throw to Bear Wilson out on the curl. Then we had the long touchdown run by Malik Deer, which was the explosive play that capped this drive off. And they caught Texas A&M in the perfect defense. Watch Quaylen Cunningham peel inside. That puts Justin Senior one-on-one with the safety Evans. And you got Malik Deer, who's really built like a running back at 5'9", 220 pounds. They like to motion him in the backfield and give him handoffs. And you got to treat him like a running back. Armani Watts missed an open field tackle. Dak Prescott now with an opportunity to tie this thing up.
This crowd alive. First down and 10. And 2 men at once. Deshaun Hall. We've talked a lot about the one defensive end tonight, Myles Garrett. But Deshaun Hall from Seattle, Washington, is a big-time player himself. Watch this.
Yeah, nobody blocks
Boom.
him off the edge, and he's got that speed. And Brent, this pass rush all year long, they've been living in the opponent's backfields. This crowd right now, they're helping out this pass rush.
2nd and 15. Now it's 3rd down. Justin Evans with the defensive play for the Aggies. This crowd has been fired up ever since the receiver was kicked out of the game.
You got to be careful now. It's 3rd in California. It's an obvious pass rushing situation. Crowd noise makes it hard for these offensive tackles to hear the cadence. So Day-Day Hall at the top of the screen, Myles Garrett at the bottom. Here they come.
Receivers were covered. Mississippi State forced to punt. Fine defensive stand by John Chavis's Aggies that time. I do want to update the controversial play. I now trail 2-1. There's nobody I have more respect for than Steve Shaw, who's the head of officials in the SEC. He said it was a good call. So the vote, Steve, is now 2-1. You and Jesse lead. 4th down, here we go. Christian Kirk is back deep for the Aggies. Run up at the 40-yard line. And he steps out of bounds as he comes across midfield. So we'll take a break. It's the SEC West. It's a top 25 showdown. It's Mississippi State. It's Texas A&M. It's a dandy. Jesse, you mentioned Greer. He's 17-20 for 229 yards with 4 touchdowns. I want the flu.
Look at those young receivers, Brandon Powell and Antonio Callaway, all those guys making plays too. That offense just growing up.
And Allen hands it off to Carson. And now it looks like Kevin Sumlin said, okay, they're a little more aggressive on the edges now. Let's come back and see what we can do, running right straight at this defense.
And that's normally what Mississippi State wants you to do. They want you to play them in a phone booth with those big physical athletes on the interior, guys like Chris Jones and Nick James.
Allen in trouble, fires back and over the head of Christian Kirk.
Really good pressure here by A.J. Jefferson. Just kind of patiently plays the zone read. Could be on the left side of the screen, 47. Just gets into the pocket in the lap of Kyle Allen, forcing him to throw that away. Now another 3rd down and a mass substitution because of slower tempo allows Mississippi State to get their best pass rushers on the field.
3:47 remaining here in the first half. On the slant, 1st down, beautiful throw to Josh Reynolds.
I think Josh Reynolds has a little bit of Mike Evans in him. Of course, Aggie fans will remember the 1st-round pick to the Bucks, but just a big physical receiver at 6'4", 200 pounds that can make catches in traffic.
Pass interference, defense, number 23. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
He's got Tevez Calhoun draped up all over him. Josh Reynolds is a beast on the perimeter of the field, just running a big body slant here, just getting out in front. Draped all over. He's got a defender and a linebacker in his face, fearless with those strong hands.
Allen comes back with the running game.
Ooh, the fumble.
Did he put it on? I thought he was down before the ball came loose, but you'll see. Allen, by the way, is 17 of 21 for 172 yards and 2 touchdowns.
I think you're right, Brent. I think he was down pretty obvious as we take a look at this again. Carson just trying to make guys miss. See that the right knee touches, then the elbow touches before that football comes loose. So good call by the referees.
Mississippi State doing a little bit better job on number 3, Christian Kirk. They've got him off to the left. Allen looks over in that way to see what kind of coverage he's got. Come back with the running game, and here's a 3rd down and long coming up again. A.J. Jefferson.
And you know the reason this offense I think pressures you even in 3rd and long situations is because you got Josh Reynolds, number 11, on the outside of the field, and you've got Christian Kirk, number 3, in the slot. So you've got 2 game changers right now on 2 different sides of the field. And for Manny Diaz and Mississippi State, which guy do you want to double? Reynolds down here, Kirk up here. Pick your poison.
3rd down and 10. Allen with time, got a receiver in the end zone, incomplete. Over the head of Damian Ratley.
And I think again the pass rush by A.J. Jefferson just disrupted the timing of Kyle Allen. If he had had a chance to set himself, he may have got this throw off for a score. You see, when he had to jump back inside, it just forced him to hold on to the ball a split second longer than he wanted to. And he knows he missed one there.
So it'll bring on Bertolette, who has already kicked a 55-yarder. This is 49 yards. And this to make it a 10-point lead for the Aggies. Off to the right. Missed this one. When you come back to College Station, decent starting field position for Mississippi State. They trail, but only by a touchdown.
Oh, yeah. The time is now. You know what day it is. Let's go.
It's been a huge day in the SEC. 3 top 25 matchups. And, of course, this one unfolding here with Texas A&M leading by a touchdown. But now Dak Prescott and the Bulldogs go back to work. Holloway alongside. Thrown for a loss is number 10. Junior from Tampa, Florida. There's your man again, Jess.
Myles Garrett. He's always been a good pass rusher. He's gotten better this year as a run defender. Coming off the left slide, just slanting down. Gets there before the block by center Jamal Claiborne can reach him.
Prescott from the pocket fires. Almost intercepted. Harris had a shot at it. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down for Mississippi State with 1.5 minutes to go.
And again, you're worried about the edges right now. Myles Garrett, Day Hall. I think it's the best tandem in the nation. Remind me of John Chavis's LSU defenses when he had Kiki Mingo and Sam Montgomery in 2011 and 12. These tackles, they need help.
Trying to move the pocket and throw back in the other direction. Nothing doing. Fred Brown stopped well short of the 1st down. And the Aggies are going to get the ball back with over 1 minute remaining here in the half.
And Brent, I think
First charge timeout, Texas A&M.
I think that last play call was an obvious example of
That's
the
a 30-second
impact
timeout.
that this pass rush has on opposing offensive coordinators. Dan Mullen doesn't feel comfortable on a 3rd and 10 situation, or 9, letting Dak Prescott take a snap in the gun, take 3 or 5 steps, hitch, and deliver downfield. Myles Garrett, Day Hall, because of that speed off the edge, it changes the game, and that's the impact I'm talking about.
Well, Sunday SEC Rewind flashes back to 2010. Alabama versus South Carolina. The number 19 Gamecocks had never beaten a number 1 ranked team, and Alabama came to town. So Alabama fans have enjoyed a wonderful Saturday here. You might want to skip that one. That's not
you just ruined Greg McElroy's night.
4th down and 9. Logan Cook hangs it up in the air, and the Aggies are going to let this poor punt bounce out of bounds. Stop the clock at about 1:14 now. Kevin Sumlin used, and I don't think Dan Mullen was happy with that effort. So in the matchup of the senior versus the youngin', at least so far, Kyle Allen has the best of it.
Yeah, and he's been dead on throwing it. He's also made some plays running. I think that's one big difference in this game. Obviously, both quarterbacks have been called on to do more with their feet. Of course, Kyle Allen's not facing the same kind of pass rush that Dak Prescott is, and that's it's going to probably be the occurrence each and every week. Texas A&M takes the field.
And you saw how quickly Kevin Sumlin used one of his timeouts before the punt to try and give his team as much time as possible. Here's Allen waiting for somebody to clear, and in the middle of the field, it's Kirk. Kirk gets the sideline. He's electric.
That's a great job of generalship by Kyle Allen directing traffic. He actually points Christian Kirk into a second window. Watch him coming from the right side of the screen on the in route. He's trying to sit down in his zone. He points, no, keep going straight. We got a better window there. Good experience.
32 yards. Allen fires, complete, and he hits Reynolds. And Reynolds still going.
This is a big drive for Texas A&M. Remember, they received the ball to start the game. They would love to tack on some more points here. Milk this clock as much as they can. Take a 2-possession lead going into half.
Just like Mike Evans, the Aggies love to leave Reynolds alone at the bottom or the right side of the formation. Stack 3 up high. Allen looks back. Reynolds! Incomplete. It is so difficult for Calhoun or any of the defensive backs to cover Reynolds one-on-one because of that great size, 6'4", 195.
And just like Mike Evans in this area of the field, he was so dangerous in the red zone. Just debo people and just basically dunk on him. Just jump over top. That time it was a perfectly thrown ball. He just couldn't get that right foot down in bounds.
36 seconds and a 2nd down and goal. Middle's open. Did he get it? Just short because of Beniquez Brown with a jarring tackle on the quarterback.
Yeah, Beniquez Brown delivers a huge shot. Kyle Allen knows with the clock running down, he can't slide here. He's got to sell out. Try and get that in. Nice job by Beniquez Brown dissecting all the traffic in front. Getting a good solid tackle shoulder to shoulder. There's the right knee down right there. Way before the ball had come close to touching the goal line. Texas A&M forced to use a timeout. Yeah, you cringe every time you're Kevin Sumlin. You watch your star quarterback take shots like that. Really, I think it's critical throughout the remainder of this year that Kyle Allen does a really good job managing himself, keeping himself out of harm's way. No, that's not the situation. That's a time where you do have to sell out. And it's impressive toughness for a young, true sophomore quarterback that spent a lot of time in the gym this offseason. You can see he's a more physical player.
Third down and goal, 23 seconds. Kevin Sumlin with a timeout left. So he can run it, and he's got the touchdown. Trey Carson. The timeout in his pocket allowed him to call the run play in that situation. That shows you the advantage of coming down the stretch for your last play of a game or a half with at least one timeout. And Bertolette makes it a 2-touchdown advantage for the Aggies.
This is just old school power football by Texas A&M. Just pulling a backside guard. Joseph Cheek right here, all the way around, and getting a block on A.J. Jefferson. That allows the lane for Trey Carson. Nice job getting around. Sticks the block. Jefferson can only get an arm out. It's a more physical running attack this year for Texas A&M. They're just a more balanced offense. They can throw it. They've got playmakers on the perimeter of the field. But this year they're running more downhill with Trey Carson. Kyle Allen's getting involved with his feet as well. Difficult to stop.
Some of you watching probably wonder why haven't we mentioned Speedy Noyle. And he was a sensation as a freshman here a year ago, but he has an injured ankle, and so he hasn't been able to help the Aggies, and he's not even in uniform here tonight. Speedy, of course, a sophomore, but can you imagine this wide receiver attack with both Christian Kirk, Speedy Noyle, and then you've got the size of Ricky Seals-Jones and Josh Reynolds.
It's a good point you make, Brent, because Ricky Seals-Jones now out for the rest of the game because of the targeting. Noyle's injured, and Jeremy Tabuyo is also injured, a backup receiver. So the depth at that position right now, it's not there for this team in the second half.
Mississippi State with Holloway falling on it around the 20-yard line. And Jesse, what do you think of these looks overhead all night from our AT&T Skycam?
I'm always a fan of the Skycam, Brent. You know, just especially when you're in a place like this at Kyle Field. Get to kind of capture all the energy and excitement in a stadium that holds well over 100,000 people. Big time SEC West game. With my bad eyes, I'll take anything that can help me get these good angles.
Fournette opened up the second half for LSU with a 75-yard run. The boys in the studio are going to tell you all about it with the halftime report. Williams checking in as the running back in the final seconds here, ticking away in our first half. So many stories breaking around the SEC. Maria Taylor will also have an interview with Coach Mullen. Coming up on the Regions Bank halftime report, Texas A&M up 14. Let's go now to Dari Noka and the gang.
You're watching Dr. Pepper Road to the Championship.
And as we get ready to start the second half, Dan Mullins and Mississippi State Bulldogs find themselves behind Texas A&M 24-10. Kevin Sumlin with a 2-touchdown lead, and Jesse Palmer, he was very impressive.
Sure was. He's an impressive recruiter, too. You've seen a lot of these young players. Kyle Allen at quarterback, Christian Kirk at wide receiver, Myles Garrett at defensive end. All true sophomores are younger, and they're making all the plays for this young football team. But I think spinning forward for Mississippi State to get back in this game on offense, you've got to avoid 3rd and long. You cannot allow Myles Garrett and Day Hall to pin their ears back on these passing situations, and defensively, they got to do a better job getting pressure on Kyle Allen.
All right, so here we go. Mississippi State getting ready on that far side, jumping around. Kevin Sumlin. Brandon Holloway and Gabe Miles back deep for the Bulldogs. Returnable. little bit of a knuckleball inside the 5-yard line, and they get no further than out to the 5, and that was great coverage by number 12, the famous number here. Sam Miller did it again. Remember, he did it on the opening kickoff. He was spectacular.
He's having himself a game here. 31st consecutive start as the 12th man. That's a school record. Just watch the hustle and the speed coming off the left side of the screen here. This combobulated return allows him to get downfield, shores up that tackle on Holloway. Look at Sam Miller having a night.
Holloway will start. Prescott in his own end zone. They're going to throw out of it, and it's complete to Wilson. And Wilson with the first play from scrimmage in the second half with a first down.
That is a good idea. Get Bear Wilson more involved. He was only targeted one time in the entire first half. He's one of your biggest playmakers on the perimeter of the field. 6'5", 215-pound freak show athlete. Let's get him some touches if you're Mississippi State.
Fred Brown down at the bottom of your screen. They stack 2 receivers off to the quarterback's right. And then they bring Holloway a nothing doing. Second down and long. Obioha, the defensive lineman, and on that big number 95.
Mississippi State just has to have more success on these early downs. Their average third down tonight has been 3rd and 9. You can't be living in 3rd and long against this pass rush.
And it will be 3rd and long.
See, again, we talked about whether it's incompletions on first down or guys getting stuffed. They're only 2 for 6 on third down, but this is the number right here. That is just way too long, with number 15 coming off one edge, number 10 coming off the other. You see here a tight end trying to help seal that side.
Mississippi State goes empty. Prescott juggled, got the first down, fumble, loose ball. Battle for it. And I believe it was Justin Evans who fell on that football. I believe the Aggies have recovered it. We'll see after they unpile.
Yeah.
Wait for the signal. Doesn't matter.
Number 70. A penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
So here's the incredible thing, Brent. They double team Myles Garrett. They still don't block him, and left guard Justin Malone has to hold him to slow him down. Look at the left side right here. Look at 70, grabs his jersey. That gives Dak Prescott time to get rid of the football. Then there was great effort on the trail by Donovan Wilson punching that football out, and a huge turnover to start the second half by Texas A&M on defense.
First out and 10 for the Aggies on their own 46-yard line. Allen keeps it. Slick ball handling. 12 yards and a first down at the 41-yard line.
Just great wheels by Kyle Allen. He's basically able to outrun linebacker Beniquez Brown, who's got a shot. Right here, fake the ball, get in the second level, runs away from one guy. People don't respect his running ability. That's, I think, going to start changing the more this season goes on. 3
receivers to the right. Allen fires in underneath, and that is Reynolds again for another first down.
One thing young receivers can take away from Josh Reynolds is he does a great job coming back to the football. At the top of this route, watch him attack Kyle Allen. Comes back, high points the ball. That helps him create separation from the cornerback.
Now they'll give Allen 4 wide, 3 to the top, Reynolds to the bottom on the right side of the formation. And they'll run Carson. Beats one defender, and he's out of bounds as he comes across the 20-yard line. Calhoun there defensively.
And he's starting to run through tackles, and one thing we got to keep an eye on, Brent, is the tempo of Texas A&M. They're on pace to run over 94 plays in this game. And how does that wear down this Mississippi State defense?
Carson now pounding, as you pointed out, short of the 10-yard line. It'll be 3rd down.
This Mississippi State defense, they've been on their heels a little bit. You see the numbers on the left. That's what they've been giving up already. Texas A&M has surpassed that, and it's only the beginning of the 3rd quarter.
1st down and 10 from the 12. End zone, incomplete. Ratley the target. He has 1 touchdown catch. Shaken up a little bit on the play, but now he seems to be okay, but shaking that left arm.
There's Ratley. He's working the back of the end zone here on the deep post. He's got Will Redmond on the coverage, who stumbles out of his break. That's a ball that I think Ratley should have come up with.
Christian Kirk slotted to the left. Reynolds split out to the right. Carson pounds to the 5-yard line. 3rd down coming up now.
This is an area, again, Mississippi State has been so good all year. They were the best red zone defense in the SEC, not allowing touchdowns. But the way I'm running it right now, if I'm Kevin Sumlin of Texas A&M, I'd keep it up. I'd hand this off to number 5.
And he's hit in the backfield. Somebody else thought they were going to hand it off to number 5, and that is A.J. Jefferson.
And he's a guy that just makes plays on this defense. Entered the game with 7.5 tackles for loss, which is 8th best in the nation. He's over here. Just watch him slant down. Nobody blocking him. He just splits it. I think if you're Kyle Allen, if there was a choice to keep that football, you got to go ahead and do that.
This will be from the right hash for Bertolet. McQueen the holder. 24-yarder. And it's a 17-point lead. A little more breathing room when you go out by 17. It's 27-10 Aggies.
My family revolves around football. It's what my brother, grandpa, dad, and uncle, both my cousins done for me. It was me, the shortest of all the boys, even shorter than my little 15-year-old brother. I may not have the physical ability that a lot of other people have. You know, a lot of people may be blessed with the size and the strength, but what makes it for that is just hard work. I was very fortunate to come to school and have my older brother Jake here, and it's an honor for me to just try and follow in those footsteps and make it to where I want to be.
Myles Garrett is certainly one of the main reasons why Texas A&M is going to move up in everyone's estimation in the SEC West. Arkansas, meanwhile, has gone back ahead of Tennessee. Speaking of the West, and the Aggies took care of Arkansas in overtime a week ago. Here tonight, they lead Mississippi State 27-10. And in 2 weeks, the Aggies meet up with Alabama right here. On the run and out of bounds. That was Holloway. And Maria, this is some young defensive end that they've got.
Yeah, Myles Garrett, Brenton, in year 2, he has learned so much about his position. But not only that, I spent some time with him in the weight room on Friday, and I was told that the difference between Myles Garrett and plenty of other defensive ends is his flexibility and strength in his core. That means he can power through a move and never lose any of his strength. In fact, they call him a cat because some of the reflexes and things that he can do because of that strength and that flexibility. And also, he comes from a very long bloodline of an All-American track running mom. His sister was a 2014 NCAA champion, and his brother a professional basketball player, guys.
Good genes. Williams, a running back. Prescott fires, and there's a diving catch at the 31 by Gray, Donald Gray.
Talking about good genes, Maria and Brent. I mean, just rare athleticism for Myles Garrett. He's been clocked at 4.46 seconds in the 40-yard dash, and he's got a 39-inch vertical. Like, what is that?
Handoff now to Miles. Gabe Miles. Remember, the big play of this game was Malik Deer, and Miles is injured on this play. He was the ball carrier.
Yeah, it looked like, this is scary. It looked like Dalen Mack, defensive tackle, kind of fell on his leg as he was being tackled. We've seen a couple of Mississippi State Bulldogs on both sides of the ball go down tonight with injuries, but this one, it didn't look pretty. Watch Gabe Miles at the end of this play. You're going to be looking for number 5 on defense. There he is right there. He's trailing now. As he falls, you see he kind of falls on that left ankle. His body kind of got bent backwards. Number 5, that's Dalen Mack. Oh, he just kind of plants on that left ankle, and Gabe Miles' body bends backwards. Oh.
Being assisted off to the sideline. It will be a 3rd and short coming up.
A chance to take a look at this here. Yeah. And to your point, Brent, I haven't heard you say tonight very much Mississippi State 3rd and short. They haven't had a lot of success on 1st and 2nd down. They haven't been in these positions to run Dak Prescott or to run Ashton Shumpert, keep a chance to move the chains. They've been worried about the pass rush because they keep getting in these 3rd and longs.
The average 3rd down is 8 yards for Mississippi State tonight. So you're right, Joseph. Shumpert is the running back. Prescott battles his way for the 1st down to the 37-yard line. Hall making the stop for the Aggies.
And there's no doubt, 3rd and short, goal line, 4th and short. Dak Prescott is the best short yardage running back for Mississippi State because he's their biggest. At 6'2", 230 pounds, his strength is a huge factor in those situations.
Blitz coming. And Dak takes off for another. If it's not a 1st down, it's going to be close, depending on the spot. Ellis finally bringing him to the ground.
There you see Dak Prescott's physicality because he had a chance to sidestep Noel Ellis. He just put his shoulder right into the defender and just trucked him. Dak Prescott physicality showing up here in this game. They need more of that. He needs to take this game over.
On 1st down, quick flare to the outside and Brown. And that's another good 1st down gain for the Bulldogs, who are starting to mount a drive here.
That's exactly it, Brent. It's just chipping away. It doesn't need to be 15-yard throws down the field, but just the wide receiver has cushion, throw it out to him, let him get 3-4 yards. If you've got numbers in the box, run it ahead for 2 or 3 or 4 yards.
On a quick slant, another 1st down. To the 37-yard line goes Fred Ross. And we have a penalty.
The flag was thrown from way on the other side of the field, away from all the action.
Personal foul, illegal block below the waist, offense, number 81. That's a 15-yard penalty, replay, 2nd down.
Justin Johnson, a freshman who had flanked out to the right, guilty, and a costly penalty.
That's Justin Johnson, who's going to be up here, number 81, right in here. It's a low block on a throw. It passes the line of scrimmage downfield. Check it out again. The ball's thrown behind the line of scrimmage, and it's a lateral. It doesn't pass the line of scrimmage. That's legal.
That's the 1st penalty against Mississippi State in this game. Quarterback draw all the way. And Prescott is stopped at the 48-yard line. And this will bring up a 3rd and long.
How about that tackle by Armani Watts, leading tackler on this defense? Just sticking it to Dak Prescott, and this is exactly where Mississippi State does not want to be. 3rd and 10. And now Dan Mullen's got to figure out a play call and to figure out a way to deal this guy down here.
They double team him and roll the pocket to the other side, and a 1st down pass. That play was designed to stay away from harm's way in the form of number 15. Fred Ross picked it up. They doubled Miles that time and went in the other direction.
Exactly did, Brent. And it's a good job buying him time, and a nice job by Dak Prescott setting his feet. And how about Fred Ross sitting down in the zone, coming back to the ball, securing the catch. Beautiful execution on a critical 3rd down.
Prescott keeps it. He's starting to put on a show. Running backs around the country been getting all the Heisman hype, and Prescott said, "Don't forget about me." They move the chains on that run. He's a gamer, this young man. Ball is at the Aggies 21, badly in need of a touchdown. Run to daylight. And Williams, who had checked in the ball carrier.
Well, I think Mississippi State is trying to test the physicality of Texas A&M. Remember, last week, Arkansas ran for 232 yards against the Aggies, and Mississippi State realizing right now, you know what, we can get some movement up front as well.
1st down and 10. Ball just outside the 10-yard line. Option look with Williams. Foot race. Bobbles ball. Fumble. Aggies have got it. Myles Garrett forced that fumble. He was in on that play, and then it was recovered inside the 5. That's a killer.
It's just not fair. It's not fair to be able to play 2 guys at once if you're a defensive end. Speed options and zone reads are supposed to eliminate a guy, but this is the one that they're running towards. Dak Prescott attacks his outside shoulder. They're expecting him to be eliminated, but there's the sub-4.5 40 speed by Myles Garrett, forcing a fumble in a critical situation inside their own red zone. This guy is special.
He combines great strength, which Maria told you about, and then the speed that Jesse referred to. Folks, what a career ahead of him. (27-10) here. Meanwhile, the Gators still lead Ole Miss 28-3.
Chip McElwain era in Gainesville has gotten off to quite the strong start after that finish last week at home against Tennessee.
Trey Carson is the running back for the Aggies. 6 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter in their own end zone. Allen goes deep to Reynolds. Got it. And they're out to midfield with 1 strike. Fine catch here by the veteran Josh Reynolds.
Watch how Josh Reynolds puts his hands up at the very last possible second, so the cornerback doesn't know when the ball's going to arrive. You know, Randy Moss was the best I ever saw at doing that. It's a skill a lot of receivers just don't have. Josh Reynolds, what a freak show.
49-yard gain on that pass play as he takes a breather. And they pound with Carson.
You just get the sense, Brent, if Texas A&M could capitalize after that turnover, get a score here, I mean, that could completely deflate Mississippi State. After that turnover deep in their opponent's end, there was just not a lot of energy on that Bulldog sideline. And Texas A&M, they've got their foot down on the pedal.
It's 21 of 28 passing for Allen as he hands off to Carson. Let me go back over those numbers again. 21 of 28. for 294 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions for the sophomore from Scottsdale.
And Brent, he's playing confidently because he just had his career high 358 yards against Arkansas last week. He has a chance to better that. Kyle Allen obviously playing at the highest level that we've seen him play at early here in his career.
Through the receiver's hands. Kirk could not hold on.
And that's just Kyle Allen being a step ahead of everybody else. You want to talk about anticipation. He got through his read, and this thing comes out way before Kirk even turns around. This shocks the young true freshman. Look at the velocity and the revolutions on that football. Don't question his arm talent. I mean, that is legit.
Here's Drew Kaiser. Ross back deep from Mississippi State. They'll let it go, and the Aggies will down it close to the goal line. That ball's going to be spotted at the 1-yard line. Nick Harvey making another big play for Texas A&M. .4:25 remaining in the third quarter. Texas A&M leads Mississippi State 27-10. Jesse, let's take a look at tonight's AT&T strong performance.
A couple guys that could get this. Kyle Allen's played well. Christian Kirk's played well, but on defense, it's all about Myles Garrett. Here he is walking Rufus Warren, the left tackle, into Dak Prescott for a sack. Then you saw just tremendous effort chasing Holloway down on the outside of the field for a tackle. He's been better against the run this year, slanting inside, making a tackle for a loss, and then again, tremendous effort, motor, forcing the fumble. I'll say this, there's an NFL GM somewhere that in 2 years is going to have a very interesting decision. Do I draft Leonard Fournette or do I take Myles Garrett with the first overall pick in the NFL draft?
Might not be so hard. Defensive ends, my friend. Disruptors. First down and 10. Shumpert. About a yard on that play, and nothing more. Tough night at the office for Dak Prescott and the Bulldogs tonight.
And this offensive line for Mississippi State, you know, they lost 3 starters a year ago. They had 3 guys playing new positions this year. They struggled against the physical front from LSU, got better against Auburn. They got to play great here now moving forward if they're going to win this game.
The deep ball to Wilson, jump ball incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and long. Brandon Williams, the converted running back. When you speak of the NFL, folks, watch the long arms of Brandon Williams.
Brandon Williams, as a running back, has a lot of the skill sets that you need to play corner. Loose hips, can change direction, and he's physical. Texas A&M knew that they were going to try him a little bit in this game. They went after him with Bear Wilson right there. This Brandon Williams, the Oklahoma transfer, playing big. Now here's danger, Brent. 3rd and long in your own end zone. You can't have a holding call.
And hit as he releases it. Obioha got to the quarterback that time. So let's take a look at the replay. It seemed with the naked eye that the arm was going forward.
I think it was too, Brent. Julian Obioha, number 95, played defensive end for 3 years. They've now moved him inside to tackle. So he's a natural pass rusher. Just as you said, it looks from that angle like Dak Prescott's arm was going forward when the ball came out. It's going to be an incomplete pass, but hey, you know what? It's not just Myles Garrett. These other defensive linemen, they benefit from all the double teams going to 15.
Here's Kirk back on this punt. And he's out of bounds at the 40-yard line. As we go to the studio, having a heck of a career. Meanwhile, Arkansas up 4, passed up what appeared to be a fairly routine field goal for a fake field goal. Tennessee stopped him, still alive. 1st down and 10. Trey Carson, the running back. Flashes to Kirk, the freshman.
You know, we've seen Christian Kirk line up all over the field. I think one thing this offense has done better this year is they're playing a lot more formations, difficult to defend. They're leaving the same personnel on the field, but getting to any formation offensive coordinator Jake Spavital wants, they can move Kirk all over the field. And when they play at the tempo that they're playing at, it's so hard to adjust as a defense.
2nd down and 6. Can't get the first down, but it makes it 3rd and manageable with Carson, the running back.
Texas A&M has a very athletic center, and Mike Matthews, 290 pounds. Watch this guy pull and get outside. He's a little bit undersized. He's not great when he has to block 330-pound nose tackles, man up. But boy, can he run, get to the perimeter. And they've done a good job in the run game this year, creating angles for Matthews to get blocks.
On 3rd down and 1. Running back is stopped by Chris Jones, big number 98 from nearby Houston. I was about to say Texas, and then I quickly noted there's a Houston in Mississippi,
you know,
and I apologize.
He's a huge talent. We haven't called his name a lot. He has the ability to split double teams. He can also rush the passer. Just hasn't really been that big of a factor in this game so far.
Aggies going for it on 4th and 1. Carson battling, stops short. Good defense by the Bulldogs. And they'll take over on downs.
And guess who? A guy that we have been calling a lot. Number 47, A.J. Jefferson. He just comes screaming off the ball and gets penetration. When the backside pull comes, he blows it up. And it forces Trey Carson just to hesitate for a second and sidestep.
And then Richie Brown cleaned up. You Mississippi State fans remember Richie from a year ago. He intercepted 3 Texas A&M passes, and Kevin Sumlin changed quarterbacks, and that began the era of Kyle Allen. Now Lee, a freshman, checks in as the running back for Mississippi State. Remember Williams, there are other young redshirt freshmen. He fumbled. Play action, middle, overthrew the target. Well, get your second screen ready. This game's gone aerial. The complete AT&T Skycam. That feed is available on Watch ESPN, streaming live on your computer, tablet, and smartphone. So download the Watch ESPN app. 2nd down. And that was Lee's first carry from Hattiesburg.
At some point, Rufus Warren at left tackle is just going to have to block Myles Garrett at some point. Dan Mullen can't keep moving the pocket. He can't keep throwing screens on 3rd and 10. So number 77 from Mississippi State, he's a converted tight end, played right tackle last year. Pass blocking is supposed to be his forte. I know Myles Garrett is Superman, but on one of these 3rd downs, he just has to win his one-on-one matchup.
Garrett ready to tee off on 3rd and 10. Swims past, and Dak eluded him, tosses it forward, and that'll be an incomplete pass. You know, Prescott was looking at number 15 right in the corner of his eye, and when he saw him muscle past, he just took off inside.
And look, Brent, how quick his first step is. Watch him just explode off the ball. I mean, he gives him that little hesitation, those long strides and athleticism. Force Prescott to step up. Even when he's not making the tackle or the sack, he's making the play.
Kirk awaits the punt. Fair catch at the 31-yard line. Well, weekdays, ESPN's Paul Feinbaum shares compelling opinions on SEC football. He has a very deep knowledge of this conference, and as many of you know, those passionate callers, and I dare say there will be some from Georgia calling the Paul Feinbaum Show on Monday. It'll start at 3 p.m.
A lot of 404 area codes.
Yeah, they'll be coming. 1st down and 10. Trey Carson, he's the running back. Final minute of the 3rd quarter. Allen has had a fabulous ball game. That one too low for Reynolds to wrap up. You wonder when Kevin Sumlin will give us a little bit of a look. He has a freshman quarterback by the name of Kyler Murray, who I believe has played in each game for him, and he's from Allen, Texas. His daddy was a good one, and Kyler's also going to play baseball here at Texas A&M. And I dare say if this score holds up, we'll take a little look at the young man in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
No penalty.
Yeah. It looks to me like that might have been defensive holding at least on Richie Brown, middle linebacker who was trailing Sabian Holmes in the slot. Richie Brown, you mentioned Brown, had 3 picks in this game last year. He's really good in coverage, but I thought he was a little bit too good on this play. See, he's got to run with him, kind of reaches out with that hand, and he was grabbing him with both arms right in front of the referee. I'm surprised that didn't get called.
3rd down and 10.
Manny Diaz said he wanted more pass rush. Let's see if they can get it here.
Allen got trouble on the backside. And now there's a penalty flag. A couple of players were locked up beyond the line of scrimmage, and a penalty flag came flying. Calvin is the young man who got to the quarterback.
I think Will Coleman, defensive end, he may have gotten slammed a little bit late on this play. I'm a Texas A&M offensive player. It just kind of happened right over the ball. I think it was maybe Jermaine Ifedi.
Holding, offense number 74. That penalty will be declined. 4th down.
It was Ifedi, and they will, of course, because of the sack on the quarterback, this will bring up a punting situation for the Aggies.
So there's pass rush, and with only 3 guys. They were trying to keep a lot of guys in coverage, trying to keep the football in front of them on a critical 3rd down. I'll tell you, this defense has done their job the last 2 series now, and they're playing shutout football, with the exception of a field goal here in the second half. They've been pretty good.
Fred Ross awaits this punt. Eludes that first tackler, and it's a low punt. He could get a return here, but the coverage team, following the gunner down the field, makes the stop. Let's check in down below with Maria Taylor.
There are a lot of offensive injuries for Mississippi State right now. Malik Deer, the guy with the lone touchdown for the Bulldogs, is struggling with cramps on the sidelines. Been trying to stay warm, staying on the bike. Also, Joe Morrow, the wide receiver, struggling with a shoulder injury. I've seen ice on it, but they say that he's cleared to play. And Gabe Miles has not returned since going into the locker room with a lower leg injury.
Well, Malik Deer has stepped out onto the field right now, and he's off to the right side in that stack. They're going to try him again. He came off the stack, and there's a penalty flag thrown. So the 3rd quarter has come to an end, and
Offense number 70. That's a 10-yard penalty. There will be 1 untimed down.
so you cannot end the quarter on the penalty. So the 1 untimed down will come up before we go to break and await the 4th quarter.
You don't see a lot of those on Dan Mullen's teams this year, Brent. They're the least penalized team in the SEC. They're averaging just a little bit over 4 a game. Only playing very, very smart football, not getting in their own way.
Last play of the 3rd quarter. Prescott fires it out, and a short gain on that 1st down by Fred Ross as we head to break. So they'll flip the field, and when you come back, it'll be the money quarter with Texas A&M leading Mississippi State 27-10. Welcome to Shake Up Saturday in the SEC. Texas A&M dominating Mississippi State. Meanwhile, in the Swamp, 38-3, Florida leads Ole Miss. That one is hard to believe. Second down and 12. Prescott moves the pocket, fires complete for a first down to Ross.
You can see the talent that Dak Prescott has. Remember, he's a guy that really considered going into the NFL draft last year. At the end of the year, reports were that he got a second-round grade, as high as a second-round grade to leave, but he wanted to come back because he didn't like the way the team finished a year ago, losing 3 of their last 4 games. A little unfinished business, but you can see when he's got time, he's got a lot of natural talent.
Holloway, the running back from Mississippi State. Got an open man, deflected. Pass was deflected. He had the open target.
Guess who? Myles
Number
Garrett.
15.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
It's just, you know, and it's not, you can't make it up. I mean, he just happens to be in the play almost every single play. He's not going to get home to Dak Prescott.
There's that athletic ability. Maria Taylor talked about his vertical leap.
Yeah. I mean, he's mad he didn't catch it. I mean, that was thrown from 7 yards away from him.
Second down and 10. Pass is complete out to the right, and Deere. So Deere, who had that long touchdown run, makes another nice run after the catch. Looks like he's got a good future.
Good news right now for Dak Prescott, because Myles Garrett coming off the field. Here's a situation, if you're Dan Mullen now, Day Hall, Myles Garrett taking a breather. This might be a chance for you to play action, take a deep drop, try and take a shot down the field, because you might finally have time.
Prescott, first down across the 30-yard line. Stop made by Ellis.
Just got to take advantage of this if you're Mississippi State now. These precious snaps without A&M's best defender on the field. Got to make it count.
Pump fake. End zone. Jump ball. Incomplete. Great coverage back there by Brandon Williams again. He was up on Freddie Brown as they went for the ball in the back of the end zone.
There was a lot of time for Dak Prescott to survey the field and find the matchup he wanted. And of course, right at the top of the screen, go against the converted cornerback. Fred Brown has been their best deep threat all year. He's caught some of these go routes. Time there, good coverage by Brandon Williams. Fred Brown couldn't come up with that in the back of the end zone.
That was great athletic ability by Brandon Williams. Not only did he keep track of the football, but he knew where the receiver was. Quick flip out to the outside, and Fred Ross makes the Aggies pay. That was a beautiful play.
Beautiful play and good blocking downfield by the receivers out in front of Fred Ross. Or for these plays to work, you need some help.
Quick pitch on that bubble screen. They go back to Ross. Quick strike here would put Mississippi State right in the thick of things. That draw them back to within 10.
This is an area of the field they like to run you Wilson at his size at 6'5". He's got a one-on-one matchup somewhere. Right up here in the slot, you can let him go climb the ladder.
Quarterback keeps it all the way. Still battling. Gets to the 5-yard line. Close to a first down, I might add. This is going to be third down and short.
And that means it's Dak Prescott time. In these situations, it's all about the 6'2", 230-pound quarterback. He's already carried the football more tonight than he has all year. These situations, take the +1 blocking advantage.
Timeout. So we'll take a break. Texas A&M will use their first timeout here in the second half. Well, coming up next on SEC ESPN Network, join our analysts. They'll discuss all the SEC news of the day on SEC Now. And there is so much news. For example, Ralph Webb just ran 39 yards for Vanderbilt with a minute left, and they have taken a 17-13 lead over Middle Tennessee. This is 3rd down and 2 now. The backfield is empty. Prescott, as you said, touchdown Bulldogs.
He's the best short yardage running back you've got.
Got an injured player down for Mississippi State.
Their left tackle, Rufus
Warren.
Warren. Yeah, wow. And that's critical considering who he's got to block, play in and play out. Of course, Myles Garrett. Another play, it's really kind of getting rolled up. We saw this happen to Gabe Miles earlier. Just watch him right here, kind of get pushed back this way into the pile. Just kind of steps down and just body's collapsing behind him. Tremendous effort by Dak Prescott on that play. A nice job pulling by the left guard, Justin Malone. That's a huge score Mississippi State needed, but this is what they did not need. Their starting left tackle hobbling off the field.
Weston Graves adds the extra point, and it's back to within 10. So, Jesse, as you predicted down here, it was Dak Prescott time, and he went in behind Jamal Claiborne in the middle of his offensive line, and they're back to within 10 with 12:24 remaining. Lights for you back there, dear. Look at this.
I think they did. I'm enjoying it.
The beautiful remodeled home of the Texas A&M Aggies. Kirk is back deep. The lead is 10. He'll take a knee. So the key offensive players here tonight, and certainly no surprise to Kyle Allen, approaching 300 yards, which he figures to get. Trey Carson, he too could rush for 100 yards, and Josh Reynolds has been the big receiver tonight with 126.
Yeah, they've been shorthanded too. You talked about Speedy Noyle being injured at receiver, not playing tonight. Remember Ricky Seals-Jones, who caught a touchdown earlier in the game, was ejected for targeting. Christian Kirk's had himself a big day, the true freshman. A lot of guys have kind of picked up the weight, but certainly those three have been outstanding.
Kyle Allen looking for 300 as they go empty, and they give him Kirk. Speaking of him, coming around, that freshman, he's got some juice, doesn't he?
He just has a different gear to him. There's something about him when he has the football in his hands. Guys can't tackle him. And a lot of it's God-given speed, but a lot of it's just vision and ability. There aren't very many true freshmen that come in and impact an offense and impact a team the way that Christian Kirk has earlier this year. Speaking of guys that Mississippi State does not need to be without, there's a guy in Will Redmond right there. A lot of draft analysts and experts have him predicted as one of the top 3 corners taken in next year's draft. We just talked about these wide receivers and Josh Reynolds and Christian Kirk. The key guys going down for Mississippi State. Number 2, Will Redmond, he needs to be on the field.
It's going to be 2nd down and short for the Aggies. Allen rolls the pocket to the right, eludes trouble, and fires incomplete, and now it'll be 3rd down and short. Good time to take dead aim downfield when you're sitting on 2nd and short like this.
But they've done a better job, Mississippi State has, with pressure here in the second half. Ryan Brown, number 48, the guy that's going to bring, he's coming all the way out here as Kyle Allen rolls out. And this defense has done its job, Brent. They've only allowed 1 field goal the entire second half. They're giving their team an opportunity to get back in this game and win it.
There's the 1st down with Carson. Speaking of winning, Arkansas 24, Tennessee 20.
Wow.
Final from Nashville.
It's a big win that Brett Bielema and that football team needed.
It's a big loss for Tennessee. Meanwhile, the Florida Gators have taken command for the time being of the SEC East. How about that? Allen takes off. He needs to get Russell Wilson of the Seattle Seahawks. They need to get a sliding pit and have Russell teach him how to take that slide, young man.
But Kyle Allen's done a better job, I think, with pocket movement and pocket awareness all season long. He's doing a good job feeling the rush, and I agree with you 1,000%, Brent. Get out of bounds. You do not need to be messing with Richie Brown.
Nobody does it better than Russell because he was an outstanding minor league second baseman. First down and 10. A strike, incomplete. Man was covered. Christian Kirk the target that time.
Guess who?
Second down and 10.
Yeah, Richie Brown. He was last week's SEC Defensive Player of the Week with an outstanding game. He had 13 tackles against Auburn. Just watch him here in the middle of the field. He's having to cover Kirk. He gets his back turned to him. There's a little bit of contact. But no tugging, no pulling. He's not the world's greatest athlete at the middle linebacker spot, but he just seems to always be around the ball. Great instincts Richie Brown has.
Second down and 10. Deflected. Intercepted. And there's a penalty flag, so hang on. For the time being, the ball was intercepted by Coleman.
Well, they're going to call, I wonder if they were going to call pass interference, but the ball was deflected, so there can be no defensive interference. A.J. Jefferson was the guy that got his hands on it. It looked like Tolando Cleveland was wrapped up with the wide receiver. This will be interesting to see what this call is.
There is no foul for defensive pass interference as the ball was tipped. It'll be third down.
Oh, I thought he had intercepted it on the...
me too. Wow. Well, you'll see A.J. Jefferson, 47, on the left. He gets his hands on it. That wipes out the interference, and I was watching that live.
You know, it did hit the ground.
Yeah, from my angle, watching it live up here, Brent, I thought that Kevon Coleman got underneath that.
But it was a good call. The ball clearly on that replay showed that it was on the ground. Third down and 10 now. And his instant replay going to... Yeah, that's right.
All right, take a look at this again one more time. See Coleman, number 11. Does he get underneath the football? No. It is a good call. We're going to go back and review it. I think this is going to be pretty easy to see. They can uphold this this call. Always want to be careful. Always want to be right, especially in a big play like this when a game's this tight. Just seemed like a couple series ago this game was getting out of hand and Texas A&M was kind of running away from it. Give Mississippi State credit because they've just hung around. They just sort of hung around and the defense has kept them in. Some big stops here in the second half, and Dak Prescott obviously leading a scoring drive. Only a 10-point game now. It's a huge third down coming out. They're going to confirm this, I think, as you said, Brent. See right there, the ball touching the ground. And if they do, it's going to set up a third and long.
The field is confirmed. It's an incomplete pass. Third down.
So where can Manny Diaz now dial up the heat? Where can he dial up the pressure from? He's a guy that has a reputation of, early in his career, of being kind of a mad scientist. There was a blitzathon early in his days at Middle Tennessee State, here at Mississippi State and at Texas. Where can he bring the pressure? Can he confuse young Kyle Allen now?
Allen fires high and incomplete. Fourth down, and the Aggies will need to punt it away.
Just impressed, too. These last couple drives, they've been able to get the heat on just with 3 guys. You see Manny Diaz fired up by that. Mixing up the looks, trying to be multiple with the fronts and the coverages and the pressures, never giving Kyle Allen the same picture twice.
Fred Ross is back deep.
And how about this punter, Brent, for Texas A&M, Drew Kaiser. He's one of the only 2 punters Football Bowl subdivision that's averaging over 50 yards a boot. He's on track to break Shane Leckler, the perennial All-Pro punter's records.
Coach would have preferred less distance. 10:41 to go. 27-17. Oh, by the way, Jez, that was 53 yards. And we've had great looks all night from our AT&T Skycam here at Kyle Field. And a big series coming up from Mississippi State. They trail it by 10. Dak Prescott ready to take the snap. Second down and 10.
Brent,
and that was terrific coverage again by Harvey, I believe, wasn't it, over there?
Yeah, it was. You know, this is a big series for, too. It's the new backup left tackle for Mississippi State, Elton Jenkins, number 74. He's now finding himself lined up opposite of big number 15. And they've got a running back over to his side. You see Dontavian Lee there to help him out.
Second down and 10. And the running back going nowhere as Obi Oha stands tall again. And here's your 3rd and long.
So it's hard enough for Dan Mullen to dial something up when you've got your starting left tackle in the game. But what can you do formationally? What can you do schematically now to cope with Myles Garrett with a backup in? And right now, no running back, no tight end up here at the top of the screen.
Bubble screen. Can't get the first down because of the sensational tackle by Armani Watts. What a young safety. He's a sophomore from Forney, Texas. And I'm going to tell you, that's as good a tackle as you'll see in an open field.
Yeah, you just don't have the confidence to take a 5-step drop with the backup tackle in, so you throw the bubble quickly. Hope he can make a guy miss. I really think the secondary has done a good job, especially at safety this year for Texas A&M making tackles.
Christian Kirk back deep. Wants to have a go at this. Got the edge. Spins away. How exciting is number 3?
Exciting every time he's got the ball in his hands, Brent. Whether it's receiving, whether it's rushing. This guy took a punt back 79 yards for a score against Arizona State. And just natural quicks, natural athleticism. Offensive coordinator Jake Spavital told us that he was out in Scottsdale recruiting. He went to Kirk's high school and just watched him catch a 5-yard out route. It wasn't a special route. You see Spavital right there. He just said the way he exploded out of the break, the way he caught the football, plucked it, and turned upfield. Spavital knew right away, and I got to have this kid. Boy, is he ever glad he took that trip to Scottsdale.
Carson's a running back. But there's another part of that story, and it involves Kyle Allen. Both of them are from the Scottsdale, Arizona area, and they knew each other. They played against each other in certain youth leagues over there. And Kyle Allen certainly put in a good word for Texas A&M when Christian was considering schools, and he insisted to the coaches that Christian Kirk become his roommate here. And they are going to be some combination for a long time to come right here in College Station. Ratley the target.
Watching these last couple drives, Brent, for Texas A&M, Kyle Allen's really been in a bit of a funk, out of rhythm. When he's missing by a lot. Some of these throws have been overthrown, and sometimes it looks like there's confusion between the receiver and he. Kyle Allen's now got to kind of button it up, because while this game may feel like it's gotten away, it's still only a 10-point contest.
Here's 3rd and long. Allen fires up bullet for a first down. Josh Reynolds.
It's a good read by Kyle Allen. And when Josh Reynolds, look at the top of the screen, look at all the cushion he has on 3rd and long. He's just able to kind of find that soft spot in the zone over the middle of the field.
Here comes Carson again, picking his way to the 26. Allen has now thrown for over 300 yards in this game. 2 touchdowns and no interceptions.
Trey Carson's really been the workhorse, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
20 carries already. Last 5 games, he's averaged right around that per contest. When they've needed a workhorse back to run in between the tackles, Trey Carson's been that guy.
Hand it off to Kirk. Won't get the first down.
The situation, we mentioned Chris Jones earlier, the talent he is. Big number 98 for Mississippi State. 6'6", 310 pounds. A lot of these third down situations, they like to move him around at defensive end, or they'll leave him right over top of the center. He's going against the 290-pound Mike Matthews right in the middle of the screen here. He's got to win on this big play.
Quick flip to the inside. That's Kirk. They put it in his hands, and he gets the first down.
Chris Jones did win. It was a screen, so Mike Matthews just kind of let him run by him. Just watch right over the ball at 98. He gets right in the backfield. He's all over Kyle Allen. Allen just able to get that football out into the hands of number 3 and his roommate. First down.
Whistle.
I think Jermaine Ifedi may have just jumped a little bit early at right tackle. Looked like that watching that live. I think this guy might be the next first-round offensive lineman picked from Texas A&M.
Mississippi State
Called timeout.
has challenged the ruling of the field of a first down. The previous play is under further review.
This is going to be an interesting challenge. When I first saw it in the naked eye, I didn't think he had the first down. But then when they spotted it, it was clear that they did. So Dan is challenging the spot on this.
Take a look at this again. Just got to get to that yellow marker. It's where the football is in relation to it when a knee or something else touches the ground. The ball's in the right hand. It's not in the left.
They're going to confirm that when you look at that that view of it. His leg did not hit.
Yeah, the left
he was
elbow.
Up on the defensive player, Bryant.
Looked like the left elbow may have been the first thing to hit the ground. Remember, again, you need indisputable video evidence to overturn this call. Of course, the ruling on the field was that it was a first down.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. It is a first down. Mississippi State is charged the timeout and has no more challenges remaining in the game.
So the Aggies are on the 20-yard line, 6:47 to go. They lead it by 10. Allen, end zone, touchdown, incomplete, he dropped it. That was Kirk. One of the rare errors that you'll see this young man make.
He was running in traffic over the middle of the field. He had a safety Coleman bearing down on him, and you're right, he's been living in the middle of the field early in his career at Texas A&M. He's going to be coming from the left side of the screen on a deep crossing route. It's a good throw by Allen. C11 Coleman coming in. He actually broke that up. Ball's in the body, and just a good job making contact by Coleman, forcing the incompletion.
Second down. There's that pitch on that option look to the running back. And Carson makes his way down around the 15-yard line. Brown.
Got to hold them to a field goal here if you're Mississippi State. Keep it a 2-possession game. A touchdown makes it 3. Right around 6 minutes to go. It can't happen. So this is the most critical play of the game right now for this Bulldog defense.
Down on that foot race, lobs it high. It was caught but short of it. That was Smith, number 47. He's mainly a blocker, but that time was a safety valve. Allen got it to him, but here comes the field goal unit.
Yeah, it's a really great job on the catcher. You see, it's kind of in no man's land. He's coming back trying to help block. Puts that big left paw up there. Just couldn't get enough for the first. Swan trots Taylor Bertolet. Mississippi or Texas A&M letting the clock bleed down as much as they can. About 15 seconds left on the play clock. Take your time. You don't want to give Dak Prescott too much time to come back in this thing.
30-yard field goal is good. 30-17. Mississippi State now must hurry up the next time they touch the ball. The Aggies with the lead as Dak Prescott gets ready to go back to work. Fielded on the 3-yard line by Freddie Brown. Brown in to return that kick. Gets it out around the 20-yard line. And so just a huge day in the conference. What really jumped off that page for you? 2 of those games. I think for one, I think Florida's for real. I think you and I had seen them a couple times, and we know that defense is good with their secondary and their front. But offensively, Will Greer now at quarterback is playing at a very high level, and they look very impressive. I think Alabama's win on the road at Georgia was something to watch out for. I don't think they like being the underdog for the first time since 2009. I think they proved if Jacob Coker just plays good, he doesn't have to be an All-American. If he plays good, they don't turn the ball over, they're still potentially a playoff team. Dak Prescott, he hit Malik Deer, and man, that was a deer in the headlights.
That was Donovan Wilson.
Baby.
Yeah.
Donovan Wilson.
Take a look at this again here. This is a shot.
Second down. And Prescott run down by Hall. Number 10, the other defensive end, and he's pretty good himself.
Yeah, he is. He introduced himself on the scene with 4 sacks against Arizona State in week 1. Now here you go, 3rd down. Again, you got to find time for Dak Prescott somehow. No help for the backup left tackle again, number 74, Jenkins.
4:10 to go, and you would think they're going to go for it right here. Hilliard and Washington in on the stop.
You know, I like the play call. I like that same play call again. I think in this situation, Dak Prescott, your best short yardage back, spread the field, go empty. Probably think about running it to the right, away from the backup left tackle and Myles Garrett. I think this defense might expect that. They may decide to slant their line that way, but I'd be expecting 15 to carry the ball.
With movement, it became much tougher. That's a 5-yard penalty, senior move.
Start. Offense, number 58. 5-yard penalty. Remains 50.
And now that means you probably have to throw it. It's Justin Senior, the right tackle, 58, right over here. You're going to see him flinch just early. Talked about the crowd noise. 100,000 plus here at Kyle Field makes it hard to hear the quarterback.
And since they closed this stadium in, it is much noisier down on the field than it used to be. Prescott, incomplete. Aggies take over. Victory's at hand.
Great coverage by the converted running back and Oklahoma transfer, Brandon Williams. He's the guy that gets tested by opposing offenses every week because they want to see what his cover skills are like. He's come up very big tonight for defensive coordinator John Chavis and the Aggies on defense. It's just been that kind of night for Dak Prescott. Hasn't had a ton of time. This time he did. The double team on the left side takes care of Myles Garrett. He's trying to get this football thrown over the middle of the field just a little bit high, but the coverage was just too good. Tell you what, there's no doubt about it. Texas A&M way, way improved on the defensive side of the ball this year.
Trey Allen kept it. Beautiful fake to Carson. Richie Brown makes the tackle at the 20-yard line. Mississippi State with a pair of timeouts.
Kyle Allen's looked good tonight, running and throwing. Got to give his offensive coordinator, Jake Spavital, I think a lot of credit. He's one of the best air raid quarterback coaches in the country. Guy coached Case Keenum at Houston, Brandon Whedon, Oklahoma State, Geno Smith, West Virginia, Johnny Football here at Texas A&M. He's doing a really good job with Kyle Allen. He looks so much better here in year 2.
Carson.
I think, you know, I've been impressed with the way Texas A&M has run the football tonight. I think that's going to be a big question mark for them moving forward. When they play against teams like Alabama and Ole Miss and LSU, are they going to be able to have the same kind of balance? Already over 180 rushing yards. They do it a lot of different ways with Trey Carson, with Kyle Allen, Christian Kirk. If they're going to win the SEC West, they got to continue to have that kind of balance in those big games against those big physical defenses.
Carson with 100 yards here tonight. Adding to it. The Aggies knocking on the door again. They will jump into a first-place tie in the SEC West.
This is a huge win for them because their schedule, I think, Brent, really sets up great. 9 games played in the state of Texas. They only have 3 true road games. Now, 2 of those are at Ole Miss and LSU, but they've got a bye week before playing Alabama coming up. Remember, they lost 59-0 in that game last year. Their crossover games against East opponents are against Vanderbilt and South Carolina, 2 teams that have really struggled in the East. So if you're Kevin Sumlin, this was a big win to get. You just keep chugging forward.
Kevin Sumlin made several great moves in the offseason. But I want to point out the 2 coaches that he brought over here to his staff. John Chavis is one of the best defensive coordinators that we've seen around the SEC for decades. He has him upstairs. And here is a true veteran. Tennessee, LSU, and now at Texas A&M. And this is a vastly improved defense. Dave Christensen, once the head coach at Wyoming, went to Utah, and now he's come down to help with the offensive line, the big fellas that open those holes for Spavital's backs. And those were 2 fabulous hires. Here is Carson to the 5. The Aggies ready to celebrate. LSU and Texas A&M alone unbeaten at the top of the West. Both at 2-0. Ole Miss goes to 2-1. Alabama to 1-1. And Mississippi State slips to 1-2. So we'll take a brief break, and we'll come back. Maria Taylor will have coaches and some of the players down below. 30-17, Texas A&M wins. Kevin Sumlin down below with Maria Taylor. Let's go to Maria.
Coach, your defense forced some turnovers and also got a huge fourth down stop. What is the identity that they're trying to create early in the season for you?
Well, you know, number one, we want to win. And, you know, we closed out the game the way we needed to. Our defense hung in there, created some turnovers. You know, we didn't really capitalize the way I wanted to, the way we wanted to offensively, but we scored enough points to win. You know, if our defense keeps playing, getting a little bit better, that's what we needed to do to get to the bye week, where we are.
Let's talk about your offense and your quarterback, Kyle Allen, who was coming off of a career day against Arkansas. What impressed you most about his play here?
Well, you know, we dropped a few balls today, you know, for uncharacteristic of us, a couple touchdowns. You know, Christian, it's hard to get mad at him, and Ratley had one, so we dropped 2 touchdowns. You know, we got to be a little bit sharper. We're down a guy. Ricky got thrown out of the game. Speedy's not playing. We'll get to the bye week, get everybody healthy for Alabama. We got a lot of positives to coach off of.
Thanks for your time.
All right, thank you.
Well, Jess, it's impressive what they're doing here.
Yeah, and I think the arrow is trending up. If you look at Texas A&M, they've got a lot of experience, a lot of starters back from last year. He just mentioned Kyle Allen. He's playing at a very high level right now. You've got the most dominant player on defense in the country in Myles Garrett. And you mentioned John Chavis, who I had to face when he was at Tennessee. I think of the 8 defensive coordinator new hires in the SEC, the biggest impact was John Chavis coming here. Huge for them to get a bye week before the biggest game of the year coming up here at home at Kyle Field against Alabama. Keep your eye on Kevin Sumlin, Texas A&M.
Jesse, well, I have a moment before we go off the air. This is Dave and Durko. He's one of our cameramen. We all know him as Dirk. And earlier this week, he had a heart attack at his home in Pennsylvania. He's now on his way to recovering. And Dirk, I want you to know from all of us, get well soon, my friend. We miss you on the SEC circuit. So that's going to do it from College Station. Lots of big stories around the league, but the Aggies stay unbeaten, and they are now tied for first in the SEC West. So let's send you to the studio. Here's Dari Noka and all the guys. Take it away, Dari.